Hi guys, and welcome back for another video here at Ricky's Vape Spot. Today we'll be taking a look at the Aspire K2 Starter Kit. So just yesterday we were looking at the Aspire Cledo tank, and right in for a review came the Aspire K2 Starter Kit, this time from the fine folks at MTMstore. And they're basically having a special promotion on those K2 starter kits. You can get them for 100 kunas, that's approximately 14-15 euros. So I decided to take a closer look at this device because I do like to take a look at those beginner devices, and I'm kind of always on the lookout for new beginner devices simply because I do get a lot of people asking me what's a good device to switch to when you're switching from cigarettes. And this definitely falls in the category of those Kangertech sub-VODs that I was taking a look a while ago. It was a similar starter kit that I was looking at from Kangertech, and I do have to say that this starter kit is performing way better than the Kangertech starter kit did. Of course, inside we do have those BBC coil heads that are pretty popular from Aspire, and I think the tank as it is, as a starter kit, is really well done. Of course, there's not a lot of vapor coming out, but it's definitely much more than on other vape pen style batteries and mods. So this is a starter kit for some newbie that never tried vaping and wants to get the vaping experience on the cheap. I think this is a really good device. Doing some mouth to lung vaping now, and really holding up. Pretty good. So before we talk a little bit more about it, let's go down to the table, have a closer look at it, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay guys, and here we are up close and personal with the Aspire K2 Quick Start Kit. So let's crack this thing open. Let's peel the sticker on the side here. It's pretty much the usual Aspire packaging with this plastic box. And inside you will find the device. Let's put this aside for a while. And underneath there's the warranty card. We have some warnings and a short and quick instructional manual telling us how to use. If you've ever used an Ego style battery, you basically know how this functions. Underneath we do have a micro USB charging cable and an extra Aspire BBC coil head. So one coil head is installed. Actually, we can check the packaging on the back as well, just to see what comes inside. So for the quick starter kit, we do get one tank. It's a 1.8 milliliter tank. The battery that is included is an 800 milliamp hour battery, and as well as two atomizers, and one is, as I said, pre-installed, and one micro USB cable. Also there's a scratch and check authenticity code, as well as some company informations. So let's put this aside. Let's get to the tank. So this is the battery. It functions normal as any other batteries. It's 5 clicks to turn it on and 5 clicks to turn it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the light indicates it's basically on. Same thing to turn it off. We do have a 510 connection on top. This is not spring loaded since it is intended to be used with this tank only. As well as on the bottom we do have a micro USB charging port, and this is basically the one thing that is really good with this device, is that you don't have to unscrew the tank with most of the other Ego style batteries in order to charge it. The finish on it is pretty glossy. It seems like a carbon fiber style battery here, but there's a glossy finish on top, so you can basically just see it through, and the finish by itself does look pretty durable. So let's go and check out the tank here. The tank does have a 510 connection on the bottom. Let's unscrew this. This is a pre-installed Aspire BBC coil head, and it is the 1.6 ohm coil head. And here we do have the tank section. We do have a removable drip tip. The tank section itself doesn't seem to be able to come apart, so I guess this is what it is. At least I'm not able to unscrew this one, but I guess for filling and cleaning purposes that should be just fine. You can easily get the water inside and then just rinse it out. So that's about it. Let's fill this tank up. This is a bottom fill tank, so in order to fill it up we will take a bottle and just slowly pour it in the side here all the way to the top, and I will prime the coil head. So now we screw in the base like so, and I think those Aspire BVC coil heads are pretty actually popular, used in other tanks as well, so you basically know what to expect from it. The drip tip comes back on top here, and I really have to say this is a really nice looking tank, especially once your battery goes bad or something. You can easily, if you like the draw on it, you can basically pretty much put it on any other mod if you were looking for that small size. And now all there is left to do is basically screw on the battery itself, and this is basically the combo that we have. So right now I think we are ready to go back to top and have a vape and talk a little bit more about it. So inside I do have a higher VG juice, and I have to say the wicking is pretty good. Didn't experience any dry hits whatsoever. We can try and chain vape this for a little while. Pretty impressive. Nothing whatsoever, no dry hits. So let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons. As far as I can see right now is there is not really many cons to this device. If we take into consideration that this is a starter kit and a small kit with a small tank capacity and a small battery, there's really not much to it that you can say as a negative side. Yes, it is an 800 milliamp hour battery. The tank capacity is only 1.8 mils, but for a starter kit where the juice consumption is not as high as with any of those other sub-ohm kits, this is performing really nicely, and I think the battery is gonna hold up at least to 1 or 2 tanks, definitely. From my point of view, if you're on the lookout for a cheap starter set, you can't definitely go wrong with this Aspire K2 kit. What I would suggest if you are getting something like this, especially if you're getting something like this for an ex-smoker, so for this price point you can get 2 kits, or get 1 kit if he or she likes it, get another one. The one downside that we always have with beginner devices is that they're not appealing to smokers simply because they're getting bigger and bigger. And bigger mods in our case do get some benefits. We do get longer battery life, we do get better performances and stuff like that. But someone who's switching from cigarettes to vaping, they really often come up and say, oh, but this is too big. Even if you give them something like an Ego AIO, for example, which is definitely one of the best starter sets out there. I would say the K2 is a category underneath the Ego AIO, for example. But as a starter set and cheap as it is, I think this is really worth the money. There's plenty of vapor for it. Another con that might be is, besides the smaller battery capacity and the smaller tank, is that the airflow is actually not adjustable. The airflow is right there somewhere in the middle, pretty similar to the Kangertech product that I did review, but it's comfortable. It's a comfortable mouth-to-lung experience, and you can even maybe get a really restricted lung hit out of it. Let me just try that. Pretty impressive, right? Did some slipstreaming here, but of course, but really impressive for a pen style battery and setup. So much better in performance as the Kangertech starter kit. We'll see about the battery life. So let's talk about some pros. First of all, The one thing that I really like about this device is the micro USB on the bottom. We have a lot of micro USB cables lying around, and I think it's just a pain in the ass to unscrew the tank every time and then screw it into one of those 510 adapters to charge it. So I think that Aspire really did a nice job with including the micro USB charging port on the bottom. I think the looks of the device are pretty sleek. This can go nicely as an accessory to your outfits. It's not too big, so you can fit it in any pocket, and it actually looks pretty classy, especially like this in black. Pretty nice. Especially if you're going somewhere where it's simply not a good idea to blow big clouds. I mean, if you go to a restaurant or something and you're having, for example, the Clado with you, I'm pretty sure it's a head turner. Well, with this one, of course, it's a smaller device, but you can still get a really, really nice vape experience out of it. Maybe some higher nick juice inside, and that should do it. So what else? I mentioned a micro USB, the looks of it, I like the airflow on it. It does have a removable drip tip, and as I said, as a set in whole, you do get 2 coil heads, you do get the micro USB cable inside, basically everything that you need to start. So I think it's a pretty good all-around and all-in-one starter set. If we don't put it in a category of starter sets like the Ego AIO, but simply because of the price point, it's half the price of it. I think this would be the way to go, definitely. So as said before, this was sent to me for the purposes of this review from MTMstore.hr or .eu. You can find it on their website for 100 kunas or 13.70 euros. And it's basically a steal. So they do have a special promotion on it now. If you're looking for a mod for someone who's just switching from smoking to vaping, but wants to try vaping on the cheap, I think this is definitely the way to go. You can simply go there or order it online, and I think you can't go wrong with this kit. Definitely highly recommend it for anyone who's looking for a pen style battery and who's just switching from smoking to vaping. So that's about it for today. I hope you did find some of those informations useful. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on my Facebook page, Instagram account, and Twitter account. I'll leave all the links down in the description box below. Or just send me an email to rickysvapespot@gmail.com for any further device requests. I'm wishing you all a wonderful rest of the day. Let's keep on vaping, and I'll see you again pretty soon.